On today's video, we're going to tell you about all of the homes in the Raleigh, North Carolina area that you should absolutely avoid buying. The first type of home you should potentially avoid buying is homes with lots of undeveloped land around it. So you go in and you find your dream home. You're excited to live there. There's a big piece of undeveloped wooded land behind the home. You're so excited until you find out they start tearing every tree out to put in an apartment complex or a shopping mall, something like that. Buyers do not search for permits to see what is going on around them when they buy a home. They get rose-colored glasses on and they ignore things that could be happening. Again, reason 1,352,212 why you should need a professional real estate agent who's gonna look this stuff up for you so you can avoid living in a neighborhood where there's an apartment complex behind you and people are looking down into your backyard. Could you only imagine? The next type of home you should probably avoid is homes with super strict HOAs. This is a common complaint we hear from people that are coming from out of the area wanting our help buying a home in the Raleigh area. They want to avoid these super strict, crazy HOAs that they're coming from. You know what I'm talking about. The crazy president of the HOA that's constantly monitoring the neighborhood, making sure your grass is only a 1/4 inch tall and not a 1/4 inch little bit above. These HOAs could also have things like rental restrictions, meaning you're not able to rent out your home after you've decided to go buy somewhere else. They may have really crazy architectural requirements, like if you want to put in a pool or paint your home or change your landscaping, you got to get super duper quadruple permission to do that. They might also have weird architectural restrictions, like you can't put a fence up. I know we will never be able to buy a home that won't allow us to put a fence up because of Winston. And it probably needs to be a 90-foot metal titanium fence that he can't get under, around, or over, or see through. But that's a story for another day. So if you have special needs, like you want to run a business out of your home, or you don't like crazy HOA presidents, you might want to avoid neighborhoods with crazy HOAs. Next up, and this is a really big one, you might want to avoid homes that are trendy. So unfortunately, the modern farmhouse with white painted brick with all white kitchens has already started falling out of fashion. And I'm concerned that these homes are going to be difficult to sell down the road. Just remember, when you are buying a home, do not put a premium on trendy features. These are likely to be things that are going to go out of fashion soon. So let's just say brick walls inside homes become a trendy thing. Don't invest extra money in this kind of a feature because likely it's going to go out of trend before too long as well. Just know that trends come and go, and it may be a thing that when you go to sell your trendy home, that it may take a little bit longer to sell than you were expecting. Just something to be aware of. And before we go any further in this video, we want to give you guys some exciting news. We were just notified that the Morton Bradbury Real Estate Group, our real estate team, is been ranked in the top 25 among 20,000 Raleigh area real estate teams and agents all over the area. We're super excited about that. We have our past, present, and future clients to thank for that. And so with that, we say thank you. Next up, homes that you should avoid. Homes that are a deal. And I know that's counterintuitive. When you see a home that's a really great deal, you almost feel like you can't pass it up. But unfortunately, homes that are a deal for you to buy are going to be difficult for you to sell. It's basically because most deals have something wrong with them. Imagine a really steep front yard, maybe a steep backyard, maybe it's on a weird lot where it's got some busy traffic going on. Maybe there's not enough bedrooms or bathrooms compared to the rest of the neighborhood. Or maybe it just has a really weird, confusing floor plan. I remember a home we showed a few years back. You had to go through the laundry room to get into one of the bedrooms. They just didn't have a way to get into the bedroom otherwise, and you had to go by the garage to do it. It was just really wonky. And this home sat on the market for a long time. Just remember, if you buy a deal, it may, again, take a while to sell. And unfortunately, when a home takes a long time to sell, it's very unlikely that you're going to get top dollar for it. The next type of home you should avoid, homes with bad builders. Now, we're not going to name any names here, but just know that there's some really great builders in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and unfortunately some not so great builders as well. We are the #3 new construction buyer team in the entire area out of 20,000 agents, so we've seen just about all the builders are out there. We know the goods from the bads. Typically, with a bad builder, you're going to see shoddy materials, poor craftsmanship, generally cutting corners in what they do. Their contracts are super slanted towards the favor of the builder and not you. Things like delaying construction by up to 3 years and having that built into the contract is one of the glaring things we see every now and again. Bottom line, be wary of the builders that you are looking at. Definitely check the reviews, and of course, feel free to reach out to us. Again, we've sold so many homes from so many builders. We can definitely tell you the good builders from our preferred builders, and by preferred builders, I mean builders we prefer not working with. The next type of home you should absolutely avoid are homes that are going to be fixer-upper projects. Now, if you don't have time to do a fixer-upper on a home, you should absolutely avoid it. It is not worth your hassle. And of course, you should absolutely always do a home inspection on every home, even if it doesn't look like a fixer-upper, because it may be a fixer-upper in disguise and may turn into an absolute money pit. And of course, even before you get that home inspection, which is what happens after you've gone under contract, you really need to keep your eyes open, take off your rose-colored glasses, and look the house over as you're doing that first or ideally second showing on the home to see if there's any flaws. Are there any cracks in the foundation? Is there any weird smells, mold perhaps in the crawl space? Anything that would be scary, you need to know about it. Again, this is yet another example of how a really good, experienced real estate agent is going to be invaluable to you, because we've seen so many of these wonky things. Our spidey sense can go up and let you know that this may or may not be a good home for you. It may be a big money pit. Now, we're certainly not inspectors at Morton Bradbury Real Estate Group, but again, we've seen enough that we can at least tell you, we might want to get that looked at, or this may be not a good home for you to buy. It looks like there might be a lot of work involved. Now, that being said, if you do have the time for a fixer-upper, they absolutely can be a great idea. You can make some really great equity using sweat equity. We've done this. When we bought this current home, it was not bad. It was just really average, but we've made a lot of improvements from stem to stern and changed this home up to the point that now we're confident we're going to get some really good equity out of it when we go to sell. So if you are capable of doing that sort of work, then definitely go with a fixer-upper. And by the way, we of course have a long list of vendors that we use both on this house and that our team uses on a regular basis that we're happy to share with you if you decide to go the fixer-upper route. And speaking of fixer-uppers, the next kind of home you should absolutely avoid are the cheap fix and flips. Now, I'm not saying all fix and flip companies are bad, or even that this national company that we're not talking about, that all their homes are bad. I'm just saying you need to be looking for the cheap fixes, and I mean like sloppy paint, floors that are uneven, smells in the crawl space, whatever, and know that that may not be the best home for you. But again, as I said, there are a lot of really good fixer-upper, flipper people out there, and we've seen some amazing stuff, especially in downtown Raleigh. There's some really good updating of homes going on down there. And so don't be scared of fix and flips, just be scared of bad fix and flips. And by the way, before we get into the next one of these homes to avoid, we have people calling us every single day from our YouTube channel here, looking to move to the Raleigh area and asking for our guidance and help. If that is you, we would be happy to help you buy your next home in the Raleigh, North Carolina area as well. You can contact us at the information below and we'll get things started for you. The next type of home you should absolutely avoid, homes that are going to be difficult to resell. And so the one that comes to my mind in particular is buying in a new construction neighborhood where the builder is still building, in which you intend to sell before the builder is done. And so I know that sounds convoluted, but let's just break it down like this. You buy a home this year. The builder has got 4 more years of building to do. You plan to live in that home for a couple of years and then sell it. Unfortunately, and we have seen this in our market recently, where people have bought new construction and then had to leave for whatever reason, job relocation or whatever. You go to try to sell that home and you're competing against new construction. Even if that new construction is more expensive than your home, typically if it's a national builder, they're going to be able to throw incentives at their product with like interest rate buy downs to make interest rates cheaper. Maybe they throw in appliances, all kinds of stuff like that to make their new construction product way more attractive than your resale home. And unfortunately, of course, by and large, most people want to buy new construction over resale. They just simply want brand new home that no one's lived in. So again, bottom line, if you plan to move very quickly and not be there at the end of that, when the builder is done building, you probably want to reconsider that neighborhood and move to another neighborhood, maybe another new construction neighborhood where the builder is almost done. The next type of home we absolutely recommend you avoid is buying the most expensive home in a neighborhood. You unfortunately just simply won't get top dollar for that home when you go to sell it. Why would anyone want to pay the very most for a home in your neighborhood when they could move up to maybe the least expensive home or the middle of the road home in a fancier neighborhood? If this is your dream home that you're buying and you plan to stay for a good number of years and you're willing to bear the brunt of being the most expensive home with the most upgrades, then by all means go for it. But if you plan to sell your home in the next few years, you might want to reconsider buying the most expensive home in the neighborhood. It's likely that it will not be commensurate in value to the average home in the neighborhood. And of course, as always, reach out to us. We'll be happy to give you some advice on this and guide you in the right direction for homes that do indeed fit your needs without breaking the bank. The next type of home we recommend you do not buy is homes that do not fit most of your must-haves. And look, we get it. It is super easy to get emotionally attached to a home. It happened to us a few years ago. We found this really cool home downtown. It had a pool and it was really mid-century modern, cool vibe. Had a bar in one of the rooms. It was really, really neat. Looked like a really great entertaining space. You felt like you were in Palm Springs basically, but you were in downtown Raleigh. It was a really cool home, but we took a step back before emotionally jumping in and overpaying for this home. We realized this home did not have all the things on our must-have list that we absolutely had to have in a new home. It basically had only about 5 of our 10 must-haves, and that just wasn't worth it to buy that house. So our advice to our clients is you create 3 different lists when you were just getting started in the process of finding your next home. The first list, your must-haves. These are the things that are non-negotiable or that you can at least stand it if you have 8 of the 10 or 9 of the 12, whatever that may be. But those are your must-haves that you really, really must have in a home. Your second list, things that you want to have. Maybe you would like to have a pool. Maybe you would like to have a screen-in porch. But you're not going to turn a house down if they don't have those things. You'll just get over it and maybe put in your own pool or screen-in porch. And of course, the third list are your must-not-haves. I always say, and on this channel we've talked about a lot of times, if you want a single-story ranch-style home, you do not need to waste your time seeing homes with primary suites on the 8th floor of this house. If there was such a house, it's not what you're looking for. So make sure that you are being very aware of your must-haves, your must-not-haves, and the nice-to-haves when you go out and buy a home. And as hard as it sounds, take emotion out of it. It will get you in trouble almost every time. The next type of home you should avoid buying, homes that are overpriced. Now, this may sound obvious, but there's a lot of homes on the market right now where the seller is sort of testing the market. They don't need to sell, but they think that the market is go, 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 and their home is amazing. It has the bestest paint color ever, and everybody's gonna wanna buy the house, so they overprice the house. And of course, it may make it difficult for you to recoup your money when you go to sell the house down the road if you've overpaid for it now. And as I just said, there's an absolute amazingly large number of homes on the market that are overpriced right now. Just this past month, we've seen some homes in the higher price band that are overpriced by as much as $300,000 to $500,000, if you can believe that. And again, oftentimes these are sellers who really don't need to sell. They're sort of just testing the market. And if you bite and decide to buy that home, and maybe you make an emotional purchase, it could make it very difficult down the road for you to sell that home. So don't buy overpriced homes. The next type of home you should absolutely avoid: homes on busy roads, busy cut-through streets. This is constantly being created because of all the suburban sprawl that we're seeing here in the Raleigh area. There's some really great homes out there that when you go to see them look really, really amazing. They look like the perfect home for you. And it's simply because you haven't been there during, say, rush hour or school bus hour, when all of the crazy traffic is going on and it's impossible to get out of the neighborhood. You always think about that neighborhood where you absolutely have to turn left and traffic is bumper to bumper. It becomes impossible for you to turn left, that you've got to literally turn right, go up the street, flip around, and then go left to get to work. It's just crazy. These are things that are happening all the time in our area because of growth. Just be aware, the best thing you can do is go see that home at multiple times of the day to determine what traffic patterns are and whether it's a good fit for you. And the other type of home that you should absolutely avoid: homes that have long commutes. People that are coming in from out of the area into Raleigh oftentimes underestimate the length of time it takes to go from point A to point B. On a map or on Google Maps or Apple Maps, it may say that it's a 15-minute drive from your new house to your work. Now, that may be based on you checking at 10 o'clock at night. At 9 a.m. in the morning or 5 p.m. in the afternoon, that drive may take much, much longer. This happens a lot in some of the Raleigh suburbs. It's simply a longer drive based on the route you have to take and the number of cars that are on the road and the growth that's happened in that area. Just be aware that this is a thing, and you should, again, test out the routes of homes you're thinking about buying at different times of the day. The flip of this is there are some cities in the Triangle area where it looks like you've got a long drive when it's actually not a very long drive. I'm thinking of Wendell, North Carolina, and Wendell Falls. On a map, it looks like it would take you an hour to get from Wendell to downtown Raleigh, but because of the road system and how well designed it is, it's only about a 15 to 20 minute drive from Wendell Falls to downtown Raleigh. So that would absolutely be a place that I would recommend you move to. And it's a place that we have had to almost talk people into in the early days because it looks so far away on a map, when in reality, it's not very far away at all. So if you're looking to buy a home in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, we would love to guide you through the process. We have people calling us every single day from our YouTube channel wanting to move here, wanting our help and guidance, and we'll be happy to help you out as well. And of course, check out this video. We think you're really gonna like this one as well. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.